If you are leading individuals or a team through a transition, you need to master these 3 phases. Number 1, endings. Number 2, no man's land. And number 3, beginnings. Welcome to Great Transition Strategies Monday Morning Stand-Up. 5 minutes to get your week off to a great start and potentially giving you something to help make you a more effective leader so you can love what you do. A lot of folks in transition, we've talked about this for a few weeks now. If you're leading someone through there, there's phases that you go through. And mastering these 3 phases and dealing with the 3 phases is going to help your team transition well, or an individual. Think about yourself if you're going through the transition, or someone you're leading, or the team you're leading. First phase, endings. When you transition, some things end. Be deliberate about what is ending. Many times, individuals in a transition, as leaders, will just ignore what's going on. Individuals can go through grief when something changes. So be deliberate about naming what has changed. Relationships are going to change. Comfort level is going to change. Reporting structure, budgets, organization, all those things are changing and maybe ending. What is ending? Be deliberate about what's ending. Don't ignore how people feel about this. Help them deal with it. When you do that, you're going to be able to make progress. Think about your team. Think about you and the individuals on the team. What is ending? Be deliberate. Number 2, no man's land. We end up in this transition. Sometimes it looks like we've transitioned. You went from one position to another. Up, done. We've transitioned. There's still this no man's land that's in individuals' heads. It's a case where you've left some place that was really comfortable. You're confident with how that place worked. And you're now in a place that's very uncomfortable, very awkward. You're not sure. No man's land, like individual on a trapeze who's let go of one and is still reaching for the other, but has not grasped it yet. Or I call it middle school too. Awkward phase. Always your heart beating, always under some kind of stress. That was really comfortable. I'm not sure where I am. I'm not comfortable with where I am now. As a leader, help individuals through that process. You already talked about what's left behind. How are you going to help them through the transition? Training, education, events to make individuals get comfortable with where they're going, to help them get where they're going. No man's land is a very uncomfortable place to be. I'll tell you, when I transitioned from the military, and I help a lot of folks transition, folks have lost their identity. What's their new identity as they leave this organization where they might have been in charge, had a big role, and maybe it's not as big. Or maybe it is a bigger role, lots more responsibilities. How do you do that? That's phase number 2, no man's land. Phase number 3, beginnings. Be deliberate about the beginnings that individuals are going to start. In this new role, the new beginnings are, here's the culture we're in, our budget is decreased, our size has grown, we've merged with someone else, or our size is less, we're smaller now. Be deliberate about the new beginnings, new customers, new stakeholders. This is how things are going to be as we move forward. When you're deliberate about these areas, now folks can transition well. They've left something, so looking at all 3 of them. What's ended? What have they left behind? They're being helped through the transition while they're in no man's land, helping gain their footing, gain their confidence. And they're very clear on what is next for them. These are the new beginnings. This is the direction that we're going. That can give people peace of mind with where they're going, help them deal with what's ended, help them deal with what's beginning, what's begun. Thanks for listening. Hope you found that helpful. See you next Monday morning, 8:30. Have a great week.